Hello and welcome to episode 74 of the Victorian Studio podcast. My name is Maureen and I'm coming to you from my studio here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Welcome to all new and returning viewers. I hope you enjoy seeing what I have to share with you this week. And that includes some knitting, a little bit of spinning, yarn dyeing, sewing, and sculpting. So I've had my fingers in a lot of crafty pots over the last couple of weeks. So I hope you enjoy seeing what I've been up to. Also, thank you so much to everyone for your participation in both the toy knit-along and the Harry Potter knit-along. Both of those are going great guns over in the Ravelry group, so thank you very much to everyone who is participating, and also Vonnie, who has been doing such a wonderful job moderating both of those for me. Thank you so much, Vonnie. I really do appreciate all your hard work. So the toy knit-along, we'll start with that. It started October the 1st and runs till the end of the year. And as I mentioned when I started the thread over on Ravelry, I would be drawing at the end of each month for prizes in that toy knit-along. So today I'll have some prizes, 3 prizes to award for that. And also I'll have 3 prizes for the Harry Potter knit-along. So if you're involved in either of those, you may want to stick around to the end to see if you're a winner of one of 6 prizes being awarded today. So thank you so much to Marlisha and Talia. They're always so very kind, mentioning my podcast on theirs, and are so very wonderful to have invited me to co-host once again the Toy Knit-along. I have so much fun doing that, and this year we're joined with Kay and Dan of the Bakery Bears. So I know everybody's been having a wonderful time with this toy along as usual. And as usual, as I've done previously, here are a few finished objects that have been submitted in the Victorian Studio podcast group since the last episode. It's always so much fun to see all the adorable toys that are being created for the knit along. So thank you everyone who has participated so far, and good luck with the prize drawings. As well, thank you so much to Susan, that's Tall Polish Girl over on Ravelry. She has kindly donated a free copy of an ebook of patterns that she currently has a pattern included in called With This Skein. So if you're interested in winning a free copy of that, head over to the Ravelry group and check out the prompt. I will be drawing for a winner on the next podcast episode for that. So thank you again, Susan, for donating that to the podcast group. As well, thank you so much to Cori Eichelberger. I hope I pronounced that right, Cori. She's irocknits over on Ravelry. She is a author and designer, has numerous patterns over on Rav. I'll be sure to link her below. And she also co-authored recently the Minnesota 52 book with Megan of Stockinette Zombies. And for the Needles Up event that was held this fall, she created a pattern called the Amulet Cowl. And she sent me a message over on Etsy because she realized that I make stitch markers and progress keepers. And this cowl is specifically made to show off your favorite stitch marker or progress keeper. It has little loops on the top of it that you can hang your favorites from, like jewelry. So what a cool idea. So she gifted me this pattern. So thank you so much, Cori. Here's a picture of it. You can see it better. I think it's so cool to see that you could hang a stitch marker or progress keeper like a piece of art off a cowl. So I can hardly wait to knit that up. So thank you so much again, Cori. Let's see. I guess I'll start with the knitting. I don't have a lot to share with you. I've been so busy with other endeavors that I'll speak about a little bit later that I haven't got a lot of knitting done. As well, I'm also doing some gift knitting that I'm just not going to show until I've given those out. So I can share with you two projects that I've completed over the last little while. The first one's a very small project, but again, it was for the Harry Potter knit and crochet group over on Ravelry, and they had a prompt for one of the classes to do something that was related to unicorns. Of course, unicorns are a creature in the Harry Potter universe. And you could use a pattern or maybe some yarn that was named, something like a unicorn. But the only thing I could find in my stash that I had was some unicorn tails, and that's from Madeline Tosh. So I pulled one of these out and decided to do a tiny little mini sweater with one of them. So I had a few of these in my stash. Here's the one that I used. It's like the one I used, and this is the charcoal colorway. And these are so very beautiful. It's their Tosh Merino Light, and it's only about 50 yards, and it's 100% superwash merino wool. So I thought, well, I'll just do a tiny little project to get it in for the class. And previously I've done a few little mini sweaters, and I'd like to use them as either ornaments or some kind of decor this Christmas. So I thought another one would be good to add to my little collection. So I knit up this little guy. And this pattern, there are many mini sweater patterns on Ravelry. This was a free pattern I got off of Knit Picks, and I used US 1.5 needles, and it only used 17 grams, about 52 yards. So it was about one of these skeins of the unicorn tails that made this sweater. But I thought this was really cute because it also has a nice cable down the front of it. I think the pattern may have had the cable on the back as well, but I just did the stockinette on the back all the way around. But these are so cute and really quick knit. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. And another sweater for maybe a garland, or as I said, maybe ornaments or something Christmassy. So that was the first thing that I got completed. The other knitting project that I wanted to share with you today was I finally completed my West Yorkshire Spinners peacock socks. I've been working on these for a while. They've always been nice to have just as knitting at lunchtime, and anytime I could just pick them up to just do some easy plain vanilla socks with a German short row heel. So I have quite a few skeins of the West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, and I always find the plain stockinette, plain vanilla sock pattern shows up this yarn the best. So this is colorway 851 Peacock, and that's the 4-ply West Yorkshire Spinners. Let's see, it says 75% wool, 25% nylon. So yeah, I love using this for socks, and I've made their owl ones before. I've done their Christmas socks. The Hollyberry, I think, was the colorway, and this time it was the peacock. So because I used both balls of yarn and started them at the same point, they're cuff down socks with just a 2x2 rib at the cuff, like I said, plain stockinette with a German short row heel and Kitchener round toe. They turned out really nicely matched because I started the yarn at the same point in the design. So yeah, I can hardly wait to add these to my sock drawer, which is getting pretty full. I can't believe how many pairs of socks I've been able to knit over the last little while, and I guess it's time to throw another pair on the needles because I don't have too much in the way of knitting on the needles right now. So it's great to have these finally completed. So besides knitting, as I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of other things over the last couple of weeks. I was involved in a character swap over in the O-Loops group on Ravelry. It's like for the Harry Potter classes this fall. And I was paired up with Tanya, Dark Path 30 on Ravelry. She's in Montreal, and we are swapping packages back and forth of our favorite characters. And her favorite character was Snape. So I sent her a few goodies, and I can show a picture now of what I sent her because she just received it a couple of days ago. So here it is here. And the reason why I mention it is because I had both designed the fabric and sewn up the project bag that I sent her. If you're familiar with Harry Potter, one of the favorite or famous quotes about him is always when he talks about Harry's mother, Lily. And so I saw a few patterns online, and I thought, well, I'll just make my own fabric. She really liked the color teal, so I thought I would do it in teal. And so I just uploaded my own design to Spoonflower and then had the fabric printed and sent to me. And then I sewed up her project bag for her. So I think she really liked it. So that was a lot of fun. So not only did I make that project bag for her, I also decided to do a project bag for myself in some fabric I got also from Spoonflower last year. But I guess, I don't know if I just didn't have enough time before the holidays to actually use it, or if I just forgot I had this. But it's some adorable fabric that I found on Spoonflower, and I love the pattern of the fabric so much that I made a huge bag because I didn't want to cut any of it off. It's a Christmas themed, but kind of a retro Christmas theme fabric. So I made myself a huge bag that I can use for the largest of knitting projects that I could ever do. And so this is what I knit up. I'll have pictures of it also at the end of the podcast because it's kind of hard to see, but I really love this design, kind of a 50s retro black cat at Christmas time. So I thought they were really adorable, and reminds me a lot of my own Dakota. So not only did I make this really big bag out of this fabric, I also made myself a notions pouch. I had to cut the fabric for this, and also a couple of needle cozies. So yeah, I'm pleased with the way those turned out. I had a lot of fun sewing them up. And yeah, now I have a huge bag for large projects, but not only that, I found that when I'm bringing projects to work, if I have other things that I need to bring to work, I just throw it all in my knitting bag. So this will come in handy for when I'm transporting larger things back and forth to work, not only knitting but other things as well. So that was a lot of fun to get out the sewing machine and make that up as well. And yeah, I still have a lot of fabric from Spoonflower, so I really have to get it out and start using it. I really love checking all the wonderful designs over there. Not only can you make your own and design your own like I did for the Always bag, but there's so many cool designers over there that you can purchase their fabric from. And not only fabric, they also even have wrapping paper and that kind of thing that you can order. So yeah, I'll be sure to link Spoonflower as always, as I've done before. So let's see, the next thing I was doing for the Harry Potter knit along was some spinning. One of the prompts for one of the classes is to do something relaxing, and I find spinning very relaxing. So what I decided to do was get out some fiber that I purchased at the Manitoba Fiber Festival this past fall and spin it up. So this is the resultant skein that I got. The fiber, here's a picture of the fiber that I purchased from the Fiber Festival from Homespun Tools, this beautiful twin bat called Latte. And I really love this. There's just something about hand spun. I mean, mine is very, very rustic. It's not thin at all. So yeah, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to use it for. But I find spinning so very relaxing. It really met the prompt very well for that class. So yeah, it was nice to get my spinning wheel up and going once more to get something else done for the Harry Potter House Cup. One of the other classes over at the Harry Potter House Cup recently had a prompt to do something that wasn't considered a rope. And if you were a yarn dyer, you could dye up a skein of very thin yarn so that it wouldn't be considered to be able to be used as a rope. So I thought I would, instead of knitting up a project for that class, get out the dye pots once more and try my hand at a little bit of speckling on some bare yarn that I had in my stash. So this is what I ended up doing. I got some Ultra Alpaca Fine. That's the Barocco bare yarn that I used for this project. And it's 100 grams, 433 yards. And it's 50% Peruvian wool, 30% nylon, and 20% superfine alpaca. So it is very lightweight yarn. And so that met that prompt. And it was around Halloween that I did this, and I was tempted to do something in oranges and blacks, but then I thought, well, if I wanted to use something for the holidays, I don't know if I will, why not go with some Christmas colors? So I got out the reds and greens and ended up doing some speckles with those. And I have to give props to the indie yarn dyers out there that do speckling. It's not as easy as it looks, but it was a lot of fun to create this for the House Cup. So, and that's one of the great things about the House Cup. It gets you doing things that you might not have reason to do. So it was fun to dye it once more. I'll have pictures at the end showing how I dyed this up as well. So that was a lot of fun. Let's see. And the last project that I did for the Harry Potter House Cup isn't something that you would really think that would be admissible for the group and the prompts over there, but they do allow in certain classes what they call non-RAV crafts, and that can include sewing, for example. I've done bags and that kind of thing, but also sculpting is one of the prompts or one of the non-RAV acceptable crafts that they will okay for submission. So I just had a desire to do some sculpting over the last couple of weeks, rather than just doing the small stitch markers and progress keepers that I've been doing, to actually do something larger. So I decided I was going to do a dragon, and I submitted him for the class called Horcrux, and it really got a good response. As a matter of fact, it's just been recently nominated for a trophy for one of the classes in October. Actually, both of my dragons that I submitted for classes in October are both nominated for trophies. They choose a few projects each month that they give extra recognition to, and then there's a voting system. I've talked about this before because I've actually won 2 trophies before. So yeah, I was thrilled to see that both my dragons, both Norbert, my knit dragon, he's just here. I think, yeah, you can see him just here. He was nominated for a trophy, and also my sculpted dragon. And so yeah, this is the guy that I created recently. He's made of polymer clay. What I did was I started out with just an aluminum foil base, a kind of like a framework for him, and then just used polymer clay and sculpted him over a couple of days. I changed him up a little bit as I went, but I just kind of used my own imagination. It isn't from any other works or anything, just out of my own imagination. So I used some beads for his eyes, and also I got out some pearls, pearlescent powders, and this was the Perfect Pearls, I believe. I got these back when I was still doing a lot of scrapbooking, and never really used them too much because you have to mix them with water, and that's not the best thing to put on paper. So, but it did really work very well for the polymer clay. So I was really thrilled with how that turned out. So I used the pearls in the silver, the gold, and the greens and blues, and was really happy with that. And then I just put some fixative on top so that wouldn't rub off. So yeah, I was really pleased with how he turned out. He was a lot of fun to create. I really would like to do more sculpting of larger projects, and it's nice again to have that prompt to get me going again, because it has been a long time since I've done anything bigger than a stitch marker or a progress keeper. So that was, yeah, a lot of fun. Speaking of stitch markers and progress keepers, what's been keeping me very busy over the last little while is my Etsy shop has been doing very well. So thank you to anybody out there that has purchased from it. Also, my work is now being carried at our local yarn shop. So that's very exciting. I took a few in to show them what I had, and they were very excited to have them for offer over at Wolseley Wool. And just a few days after I brought a whole bunch in, they asked me to bring in even more. So that was very exciting. So it's, I've been pretty busy making sure that I have enough stock for that. And also because I'm not selling them the same way as I am on my Etsy shop, where I would package them in jewelry boxes, like gift boxes. I wanted to have a way to display them at a store. They've been putting them in a nice basket right at the front counter there, but I wanted to not have them just loose. So I went over to Vistaprint, who had printed off my where I got my business cards from, and I printed off some backer cards. And so yeah, that was neat to design just some cards that I could use to hang my stitch markers or progress keepers from, and also have care instructions on the back. And then I just used some twine like this to display each marker. So I thought that was a great way to have that displayed, and when it's being offered in a retail environment. So it's been a lot of fun to design those, get them all ready, after I got them printed off at Vistaprint. They came really quickly, but I had to punch them and notch them so that I could prepare them with the actual stitch markers on there. So yeah, that's been very exciting endeavor to have my business growing by having them offered at our local yarn shop. So that's very, very exciting. So I have been busy both restocking the charms that I've made already, and also trying to come up with some new ideas, especially for the holidays and that kind of thing. I'm also going to be selling at a small little craft show that we're going to be having in a couple of weeks' time. So I've been busy putting a display together for that as well. And yeah, I just this weekend doing some more the lemon pies that I've had previously. I still have to paint these up, but also I did some key lime pies, so in the same way as the lemon. And also I did some more French bread, but they're just drying. And also I have to paint these up. I did some more croissants, so they're a lot of fun. And also something new that I thought I would try my hand at is a few little candy canes for the holidays. So I made up a whole bunch of these as well. So yeah, they're a lot of fun, and I have some ideas for some more Christmas offerings as well. But yeah, it's been fun to do these. So they'll probably go up in my shop over the next little while. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, if you want to be updated on when I update my shop. That's where I'll announce it. So yeah, so it's been very, very busy on the sculpting front over here, but yeah, a lot of fun as well. So it's very nerve-wracking to have my work over in the in Wolseley Wool, but I'm very glad that it's been pretty successful so far. So so that's exciting. So let's see. Okay, I guess before I award the prizes for the 2 knit-alongs that we're currently running, I thought I would just show you a couple of things that arrived in the mail over the last little week as well. As I mentioned before, when I was doing the character swap for the O-Loops group, one of the things my swap partner had on her wish list was some yarn from a dyer that I still hadn't tried. And so, of course, besides getting her a skein of yarn from her wish list, I of course had to get one for myself, and that's from Dragonfly Fibers. I've heard of them through many podcasts, have mentioned them, and I've always wanted to try them, so that was a great opportunity. So here is their tag, and what I chose for myself was their Pixie base, and it's 430 yards of 100% superwash merino. So yeah, beautiful blue colorway called Nymeria. I believe that has to do with Game of Thrones. Arya's dire wolf was named Nymeria, so I think that's what it was named after. But regardless, it's a beautiful skein of blue yarn that I'm really looking forward to using up one day. So it's beautiful. It's great having that excuse to try that yarn. And I also, while watching Lisa over at 90% Knitting and Fiber Nymph Dye Works, she was having some updates to her shop, and I was lucky I was able to snag one of her self-striping skeins of Snow Day. She was doing quite a few shows, and I think this might have been one of the leftovers from her show, because I know it's a very popular colorway. It was only, I think, the only one in stock there, so I'm really looking forward to it. And speaking of Snow Day, we've had lots of snow here the last couple of weeks. Winter it went right from early fall to the mid of winter, where it got very, very cold, and a fair amount of snow fell. So I don't think it's going to be melting anytime soon. So it was funny, this arrived on a snow day that we were having. It was quite a white day out for us. So yeah, this is really pretty because some of the stripes have the speckling, and then it's broken up by just stripes of plain white. So I think that's going to look so very pretty. It's on her bounce base, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards of fingering weight. So pretty probably socks will be made out of those, out of that. So thank you, Lisa. It's always fun watching her podcast, and I always love her yarn. I would love to get even more from her. So yeah, she's always a fun person to watch on her podcast. So I also wanted to thank Davina, who is the sister to Talia and the other daughter of Marlisha of the Pinhook and Needles podcast. Davina was so very kind to send me a thank you gift. When Marlisha had ordered some charms from my shop, I threw in an extra one for Davina, and I was thrilled to see that she's even using it. It's one of my ice cream cone progress keepers. So to thank me, she sent me this beautiful package in the mail, and I was so touched. Davina, thank you so very much. You're so very kind. So I get this package in the mail from Davina, and she sent me this very special note that I'm not going to read, but it was so very nice of her to handwrite a note to me, and also include in the package some of her own artwork. And she is an artist and a very nice jewelry designer, and sent me a necklace and a matching bracelet. And this is so very nice, Davina. You're very, very kind. And I just love the black stone that she chose for this necklace. It had set in some silver flower jewelry base to hold the stone in there. And it's, yeah, just so very pretty. And of course I love blues and greens, so she has my colors down pat. So Davina, thank you so very much. You're so talented when it comes to jewelry. I often see your sister and your mom wearing your jewelry as well. So thank you very much. It was very kind of you to send me that, and I really will treasure it. So I think that's it for acquisitions, and all I have left to do today is to award some prizes. Okay, so I will begin the prize drawings with 3 prizes for the toy knit-along, which began October the 1st. So I went to random.org before I started recording today and took entries of posts number 2 to 152 from October 1st to October 31st and put them into random.org, and it pulled out 3 winners for me. So the first is a prize of 1 pattern of $10 US or less to winner of post number 75, and that is Ann Vita, and she created a really cute cat. So congratulations, Ann Vita. When you see this, be sure to PM me on Ravelry and let me know which pattern you would like me to gift for you. So congratulations. The second prize is a choice of 1 charm from my Etsy shop. And the winner of that prize is post number 115, Sienki49. I know I mispronounced that. I apologize. But yes, when you see this, let me know, and head over to my Etsy shop. It's linked below, and choose a charm of your liking, and I will mail that off to you. So congratulations. And the last prize for the toy knit-along for this month, for October, is for a project bag. So this is one of 3 that I sewed up for the toy knit-along with the bird fabric on the outside and then matching bird names on the inside. And this project bag goes to post number 91, and it's Mama C, Christina. So Christina, congratulations. So you get one of my project bags. So when you see this, let me know your address and I will mail this off to you as soon as I can. So congratulations to all 3 winners for the Toy Cal. I will be doing another 3 draws of prizes from October 1st to the end of November. So if you haven't submitted yet, be sure to do that. And then I'll do a 3rd drawing at the end of December, well, probably in the new year, for the entire length of the Cal, October, November, and December. Okay, on to the Harry Potter knit-along. So we have 3 prizes to award today, and so random.org was again pulled up, and I put in for posts number 2 to 2,580. And the first is a Ravelry pattern of $10 US or less, and the winner of that is post number 1454, Lady Merwin. That's Sophia. Congratulations, Sophia. And the second prize is for a Butterbeer Progress Keeper that I've created. And not only do you get the Progress Keeper, but a Butterbeer recipe on the back. And the winner of that is post number 2530, OCD Knit Case, and that is Diane. So congratulations, Diane. When you see this, let me know your mailing address and I'll get that out to you. And lastly, the Philosopher's Stone stitch marker set, which I created as well, goes to post number 1247, and that is Texas Woman 5031, Tiffany. So when you see this, again, send me your mailing address and I'll get that out to you. So congratulations to all 3 winners. And again, I will be doing some more prize drawings for the end of November. And then at the end of the knit-along, at the end of December, well, it will be in the beginning of January, I will be doing the final draws for the Harry Potter knit-along. So thank you everyone for participating. Congratulations to the winners, and yeah, keep on entering because we still have a couple of months left of both of those knit-alongs. So thank you very much to everyone. So I think that's all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I had to share and what I've been up to. And as always, I'll throw in some pictures of activities I've been doing over the last few weeks. And I hope to see you again on the next episode of the podcast. So until then, have a great couple of weeks, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.